Hello, today we are starting with Module 1 Introduction. So what do you mean by auditing? It is a systematic and independent examination of books of accounts by an independent person called auditor to determine their accuracy and reliability. So it is a systematic and independent examination done by an independent person known as auditor, and this independent person is doing a systematic and independent examination of different books and books of account of different organizations or authority to determine its accuracy and reliability, to determine the accuracy and reliability of the books of account presented in the organization. So its main duty is the person who is doing this independent examination or systematic examination of books of account is known as auditor, and he is qualified for doing so under CA and all. Next one is it is a review of financial statement and record of a company, government or any other local entity to report whether those financial statements are relevant, accurate, complete and fairly presented. So basically the main duty of auditor is to review the financial statement presented in the books of accounts of a company, government or any other local authority or local entity, or local business entity or any other kind of organization, and a systematic and independent examination of their books of account is known as auditing, and this auditor will check the report or the financial statement whether it is relevant or accurate or complete or fairly presented in the organization. This is the main duty of auditor, to check the accuracy and reliability of financial statement of every organization. Next one is this audit is usually performed by a qualified chartered accountant. So auditing work is main qualification of auditor is CA, chartered accountant. They have to pass the CA chartered accountant qualification, then only they can do for this auditing work. Next one is the meaning of auditing. The word audit is derived from the Latin word audire, which means to hear. Auditing is a critical examination of records and books of accounts of a business by an independent qualified person for ascertaining the authenticity and the accuracy of entities appearing in the books of accounts and financial statement. So this is the meaning of auditing. The word audit is derived from the Latin word audire, which means to hear. So basic activity of an auditor is to hear the company's record or go through the company's records and financial statement and go check for and examine for the accuracy and reliability of those books of accounts of a business. And these auditing auditing person is an independent person who is qualified under CA to ascertain the authenticity and accuracy of entries made in the books of account and financial statement of each organization. So this auditing is an examination of books of accounts, records and relative documents which support the evidence of related documentary evidence by an independent qualified person known as auditor, in order to ascertain the accuracy and reliability of the figures appeared in the books of account or the financial statement. Next is the definition. According to Spicer and Pegler, audit means such an examination of books, accounts and vouchers of a business as will enable the auditor to satisfy himself that the balance sheet is properly drawn up so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the business, and whether the profit and loss account gives a true and fair view of profit or loss for the financial period according to the best of his information and explanation given to him, and is shown by the books, and if not, in what respect he is not satisfied. So according to Spicer and Pegler, audit means an examination of books and account, all the documentary evidence provided by the company or organization to the auditor. And this auditor, what they do, they use to satisfy himself with the documentary evidence presented in the organization. He's ultimately examine or go through each and every document given by them, and they'll check that whether the figures are true, or whether this document are showing a true and fair view of company's affairs and profit and loss account. And if not, if the auditor is not satisfied with the books and accounts or documentary evidence, then in what matter he is not satisfied, he has to report, or he has to specify that. That is a definition for audit according to Spicer and Pegler. Next one is Montagorny defined auditing as examination of books and records of a business in order to ascertain or verify and report up on the facts regarding the financial operation and the result thereof. So according to Montgomery, it is a definition. It is defined as an examination of books records of a business in order to find and verify and report the facts presented in the financial statement and result thereof. That is, and they have to report the final result or final examination result to the higher authority or authorities who is concerned for. That is the definition under Montgomery. You can study any of this definition. Next is the features of auditing. So auditing features are as follows. First one is it is intelligent and systematic examination of books of accounts. So one fact is that it is a intellectual activity and a systematic examination of books of account, as the person who is auditing or the independent person who is conducting this examination should be qualified person who is very intellect and have the authenticity or authority to examine the books of account. Next one is that it is done by an independent qualified person. As we said earlier, this activity or this auditing function is done by an independent person who is qualified under CA or equivalent qualification which is taken for auditing. Next one is that auditor should not be connected with the presentation of accounts which he is auditing. So one thing is that the auditor should not be connected with presentation of account means when he is examining a certain financial statement or books of account or documents, but he should not have a direct connection to that financial statement, then only he can go for auditing. If he is anyway connected with that preparation of financial statement or accounts, he is not liable to audit. Next one is that it is done with the help of documents provided by the authority. So mainly auditing is done by all the documentary evidence given by the authority business. Maybe it's an organization, business, or local entity, or the government. So whatever documents or evidence they provide, according to that, on the basis of that document, this auditing work carried on. Next one is that the auditor should satisfy himself regarding the accuracy of the financial statement. So this is an systematic examination of books of account, and this auditor, the independent person who is conducting this examination, should satisfy himself regarding the accuracy and reliability of financial statement. If he is not satisfied, he should report to the higher authority, whoever may be concerned, and should also state the reason for not satisfying with the financial account. So last point is that if the auditor is not satisfied with the correctness of accounts, he should report in what aspect he is not satisfied. That is to be done with the person who is concerned for that, the authority, higher authority. He should report why he is not satisfied with the financial statement of such and such organization. So these are the features of auditing. Next one is the basic principle governing an audit. According to SA, means Standard of Auditing 200, it describes the 9 basic principles that govern the procedures of auditing. First one is that integrity, objectivity, and independence. Next one is confidentiality, skill and competence, work performed by others, documentation, planning, audit evidence, accounting system and internal control, then audit conclusion and reporting. So first one is integrity, objectivity and independence. The auditor should be straightforward, honest and sincere in his approach to his professional work. He must be fair and must not allow prejudice or bias, personal prejudice and bias to override his objectivity. That is the main principle of auditing. That is, he should be a straightforward, honest and sincere in his work, and he must be fair, and he should avoid personal prejudice. Prejudice and bias. Next one is confidentiality. The auditor should respect the confidentiality of information acquired in course of his work. Whatever documentary evidence he received for his examination, he should keep the confidentiality, and should not disclose any such information to a third party without specific authority or unless there is a legal or professional duty to disclose. So he should not disclose those documentary evidence given by the company or authority to a third party unless and until it is specified with the specific authority or legal and professional duty. So he should not reveal the confidentiality of the authority. Next one is skill and competence. The auditor must acquire the skill of auditing and must be experienced and trained in procedures of auditing. For next one is that he must have a skill, intelligence and competence, and he must be a qualified and experienced in his field, and qualified as per the standards for doing the auditing. So he must be skillful and well experienced, trained, and have the qualification to do this auditing work. Next one is work performed by other. When auditor delegates work to assistants or expert, he will continue to be responsible for performing and expressing his opinion on financial information. So the auditor must carefully supervise and review such work and be reasonably sure of accuracy of such work. So in case if he likes to delegate his work to his subordinates or assistants or expert, he must be continued to be responsible for the work done by others, and he must carefully supervise and review the work performed by others under him. Next one is documentation. Adequate documentation serves as an evidence of audit performed. It will support the fact that audit has been carried out in accordance with basic principle. The auditor should document matters which are important in providing evidence that the audit has been carried out. So documentation is compulsory. Whatever audit work has been done, it should be documented, and this is the evidence that document is carried out in such an organization. That is the document. So that kind of evidence and document should be provided for doing the audit work. Next one is planning. The auditor should plan his work to enable him to conduct an effective audit in an efficient and timely manner. So in order to do a systematic examination of books of account, he should plan his work, and accordingly he should conduct his audit work so that his work will be effective, and he can finish his audit work within the specified time. So proper planning is required. Next one is audit evidence. The auditor must collect enough evidence to support his final opinion. This collection of such evidence is done by compliances and substantive procedures. There are two sources for this evidence. One is internal and external. External sources of evidence are always more reliable. So audit evidence means for conducting this audit work, he can collect this independent person can collect enough information to support his final decision regarding the financial statement of an organization, and he can collect this information from two sources. One is internal and external. Internals means from the company and the organization, and external sources means outside source, which is kept more reliable than accounting system and internal controls. The auditor has to ensure that the accounts of the organization are accurate and represent a true and fair pictures of the financial statement or financial status of the company. Also, the auditor must ensure that all the material information has been recorded in the books of accounts. The testing the internal control system is also important, as it helps to determine the same. So this accounting system and internal control is to be checked by the auditor, and auditor has to ensure that the organization is represent the organization, whatever document the organization is provided, that should be accurate and reliable, and also it should represent a true and fair picture of the financial statement of the company. And also the auditor has to check all the transaction and all the material information regarding the company is to be recorded in the books of account, as well as this auditor must check the internal control system of the company for finding out the true and fair picture of the financial statement of the company. Next one is audit conclusion and reporting. After the auditor collects all the evidence, he must now form his opinion and give the report on the basis of the following criteria. First one is that all the relevant accounting standards were applied at all the times. Next one is financial statements are in compliances with all the regulations and statutory requirement. Then all material information has been disclosed. So for the conclusion and reporting, the auditor must collect all the evidence from the company, from the organization, and give an opinion regarding the financial statement, and must give a report, final report to the higher authority or authority who is concerned for that report. So the basic criteria followed in that is that all the relevant information, all the relevant accounting standards are applied at all the time. That is the auditor has to check that in the books of account the company has followed all the accounting standards for all the time. Then financial statement are in compliances with regulations and statutory requirement. According to the regulations and statutory requirement, all the financial statements are prepared, and all the material information regarding the company or the documentary evidence regarding the company must be disclosed to the auditor. He has to find out so these three criteria is followed in the audit conclusion and reporting. So these are the basic principles governing an audit. First one is integrity, objectivity and evidence, then confidentiality, skill and competence, work performed by other, documentation, planning, audit, evidence, accounting system and internal control, audit conclusion and reporting.